Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of Stream for Initiative, where natural 20s are never natural, alcohol consumption is strongly advised, and viewer discretion is merely a suggestion.
The way you said Season 2 was like you were asking. Are you asking?
It's just like kind of hard to believe. It's like Season 2?
I have a question.
Are we allowed? Are we allowed
I have
to
a
go to season?
question.
Yes.
Where's our DM?
I know. I'm noticing that. I'm like, why is he not showing up?
Oh no,
Nani?
he invisible.
I invisible?
I know.
Take off your invisible cloak.
Yeah.
I But-
Is that the magic item of the day?
Oh my God.
It's like
am
a
I?
children's show or something.
It's like, there I am. Okay.
There he is.
It's so funny that we've been like messing with this for the last hour, and as soon as we go live, I disappear. Yes.
just like
Don't drop
any-
that
any
cloak
live
somewhere. Lily might
production.
find it if you do.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, welcome to Season 2, Stream for Initiative, with Septum Extraneous, which is our group that we have here. What were you saying?
Nothing.
That's right. We'll talk about it later. Or will we? Talk about it right meow. So, guys, let's just talk about Season 1 a little bit. A lot happened.
Oh my god.
You
we
met
have to.
tons of people. We'll just go through it kind of quickly, I guess. I mean, like, there's so many people we can't even talk about all of them. I mean, you visited Ardenrun, Opahost, Worser, rest in peace. You met different races that are unique to this world.
Why say rest in peace?
What? What are you talking about?
Why say rest in peace?
What's it burned down?
Yeah, it's gone.
I personally vote for rest in pieces, but that's just me.
Rest in fire.
It can rebuild.
I mean, it was
Even if
it
you
was
were
made
fire,
out of
there you go.
mushrooms. I mean, I guess it could be regrown, so that's possible.
Ooh, I wonder if it was like really weird and trippy when it was burning.
Ooh, man.
We
mean,
were
it's not
there.
weed,
We
but-
didn't experience it.
Not while it was. Well, actually, we were there.
Yeah,
while
the
it
first
burned.
time, not the second time.
Oh
Poor
my God,
Worser,
what if we
Jesus.
didn't actually save it and we were just having a fucking really bad trip?
Fucking.
Damn it! Now we gotta replay all of Season 1.
The goal was like, I cast a powerful spell that made the whole sky rain. Gomo, you peed on the freaking house.
You met the Alzak, which is a group of dinosaur-like individuals that also ride and have dinosaurs with them. You have one now as a companion pet. You have a baby one.
Yeah,
Who
I have a
seems
question.
unique because he's all white.
And
Go ahead.
Disneyland's.
So my question is, what determines which dinosaur gets ridden and which one rides?
That's a good question. I guess you have to figure that out at some point.
Oh, this is almost like
Ask the
Pluto and
dino.
Goofy.
Yeah. Then why don't you just ask?
Yeah, why don't you just ask the
In
dino?
game, not me. Jeez. We think we're just gonna give away free information?
So what you're saying is we're just gonna walk up to him and go, "All right, who's the top? Who's the bottom?"
Hey, you could try that approach. You know, it might work. You never know.
One way to do it.
I'm not convinced it's gonna work.
First.
What else happened? I mean, you found out some things about each other and your pasts.
Mm-hmm.
You met some of your guys' families.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all kind of side stuff. More to the main story. You guys found this weird underground place that had lots of cool gadgets and machineries, and you found some kind of map. And to top it all off, at the end, you found that somebody that you've been in contact with is not who you thought they were. Gave you guys lots of information about that underground place and what that map might be. And in session 0, we went shopping and did some crazy shenanigans, which we thought might be something different, but it wasn't. It was the same.
What a wild ride.
Yes, wild indeed. there anything you guys would like to add about season 1?
All right, guys, speak if.
So Neilon obviously has some demons, and a literal demon, apparently.
A literal demon, apparently. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to deal with eventually. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Could be something.
I has magics now.
Ooh. Do tell.
I
Lord
kind
help
of
us.
like I kind of like, you know, took Gomo's book and never gave it back and bonded my like everything to it. So I got magic now.
Bonded your everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's one way of putting it. Yes.
I mean, blood is
Arthur,
in me,
help
so
us
everywhere,
all.
right?
All right. Anybody else want to add anything? Okay.
I got nothing.
Bro, your sister's in like a cult, basically.
We don't.
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
your sister's a thief.
You don't know that?
We
Wow,
don't know
we
that
all
for
got
sure.
baggage.
There's still
My
time to
sister's
intervene.
just so awesome.
What'd you say? Your sister's awesome?
Yeah.
You have a sister?
Yeah, Maki.
Oh, true. Okay.
Hmm.
Haven't heard anything from Groger. Does Groger have anything to add about season 1?
Push.
Stop. I was just gonna say. I mean, he got hit on by a MILF. That's the highlight.
Nope.
What else is
So
there?
nothing about the collar.
Nope. What color? There's no color.
You probably
was a ruse all along.
Hold on, you probably want to give some context to that.
So,
Are you
Groger,
really comfortable
has a
with it
collar.
going from MILF to
Starts
collar
with a
and
B
then
and
just
ends with
dropping
an
it?
M.
wow. Priorities. We can see where the player
in the last
is.
session, we already know.
The
We see where the
context of
player's
that is it
priorities
starts
are.
with a B and it ends with an M.
A beer? What?
I don't get it.
What are you saying?
I'm not gonna explain fetishes.
There
Let's
might
just move
be
on.
S in there. There might be
Oh.
a T
There we
in
are.
there.
Okay. All right.
Wow,
Okay.
surprised. I'm
Ah.
surprised. Okay. Anyways, so
I was
collar.
thinking like B.
Groger has a collar that they are currently trying to get off. That is the that's
Yeah.
all we
trying to
can
get
really
off.
we can the
That's-
short story of that.
Yeah. That is his whole
Hello,
thing right
hello,
now.
hello.
Kind of just plopped in, was like,
I
"Hey,
can
what
get
up?
it
I'm
off."
here." No. No making
No.
shady deals with Mav. The god, I guess. Now I don't know what is from. What's his real name again?
Arthur.
Arthur.
Pen pal.
Barthu.
Pen pal.
Pen pal, she says.
I'm just gonna call him Penny.
Penny.
My God.
Sure, if you want to get
I hope
smited.
I hope Arthur kills you very
God.
fast for that.
His name
Yeah.
Pee-Pee.
Panda, I hope you have okay, and Fish, I hope you guys both have characters lined up.
What are you
I
talking
do.
about? I got
I
like
do.
4.
Don't let Neelan find out, right?
Why not Gary?
Why not Gary?
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
No.
Why not Gary?
Gary.
God, is he a snail?
Ah.
Oh my god.
All right, so it works out perfectly. It all comes back around. So, okay, let's try to get back on track. Or
Yes, sir, Mr. DM, sir.
We'll sit here and talk about season 1 the whole time. Maybe that should have been our session 0. It's just recapping all of season 1. But so
But then I would have gotten to Strato Goger.
I mean,
Moving on.
so what was the last thing that happened? Session 0, guys. Do you
I feel
remember?
like season 2 has a different rating.
Right. It definitely does. We have definitely moved up in ratings.
We're
Clear that
Adult Swim
PG-13,
like
it's
level
like-
now, guys.
So in season 2
That is a
so
step up,
far,
right?
we
there were
got
two.
we got Spybirds.
Oh god.
What?
Drones.
Yeah,
The
they
two major
apparently,
events that I-
apparently they think that birds are now spies and drones.
I'm still
Lily
skeptical.
has,
Have you
no,
know?
Lily has crack theories about the world. She's a flat earther.
Oh my god.
No,
You mean the world is
Lily,
not
no, say it isn't so.
It's like she's every
Okay.
flavor of conspiracy,
God.
just all rolled up in one.
I have no education.
There's your birds.
Why do you think she's looking for magic items so much? She's trying to prove her theories.
Is the D&D equivalent of like lizard men are real, like lizard men aren't real?
Goma,
Are
I
you
can't
trying
do
to
that.
say that some
Rodon's
people would
right
look
there.
at Rodon and think he's not real?
What is he,
that,
just
so
like-
that would be the conspiracy, is what I'm saying. right?
Rodon
Like,
is a
they're not
mecha.
actually lizard people.
well, he hasn't
Why
done
do
the
you
tongue
think I
thing.
bzzed so much?
Okay,
So you're
I'm
really just a
sorry, I'm
werewolf?
sorry. I gotta subtract
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
See, like,
again.
I'm sorry.
Again.
What's new?
The two top
So-
moments that I could think of
Glad
from
to
last
know
session
some things
were-
don't change.
Yeah. Are what, Yodi?
So, Neelon and Ristel fought. and
Yes.
Because
Oh,
Ristel has been
yes.
acting weird lately, but I guess he was a little bit more bloodthirsty, which may have assuaged some of Neelon's fears, but he still wants to talk to them anyways. Get a little bit
Yeah.
more in depth on that. And I forget the exact circumstances of it, but Gomo was actually working for what's his name over at Mesmer Khalil?
Khalil.
Khalil.
Over
Yeah.
at Mesmerize. So he
Yeah.
was learning about that. He asked a little bit about where he might get a stone similar to the one that Khalil had in the back room, and has been directed to what is apparently the floating house in Opalhost.
Oh yeah.
No, the and was supposed to be I was finally bunking up with Laura. Hello?
Oh, that too.
Oh yeah, that happened.
He finally got to pork
And
somebody.
then fade to black.
Oh boy. Okay, so
Where's the OVA?
it's in the works.
It's
Whoever would like to get on that, you can start.
If somebody wants to write fan fiction, go for it.
Oh Lord, no.
So
You say that like not giving permission is gonna stop them.
So we'll get we'll start off session 1 here with the group back together, so we can we'll say we're gonna start with you guys at Gomo's house. That way you guys can all be together. You can decide what's going on, what the plan is,
What's going on?
where you guys want to go.
How far into our break is this? Is this like after the second week or?
Well, we were saying we were gonna do a whole week between the end of season 1 and into this one, and then session 0 was kind of like what transpired within that week.
Okay, so we're finishing up at the end of that week.
Correct.
Okay.
So you guys got your shopping. Groger got his new clothes. And the funny thing is, with all of that, did you guys even go shopping? Not much. There was a lot of shenanigans.
Nope. Just
So I do believe a lot of the plan was you guys wanted to. You had asked Khalil about the item that he had and where he got it, and he directed you to, like Yodi said, that the floating house. I know Neelon had talked about wanting to get to Ardenrun and talk to the council. Leota had talked about wanting to go home to deal with her stuff there. So, what's the plan?
So I think we should go to the flying house.
I would agree with that. Anybody want to RP that?
Who would be
Uh,
going? All of us? Are we
No,
gonna?
So, DM, let's.
Mhm.
Were we, like, did Khalil give anything like because as to like how you actually enter the house or call it?
So I
to
wasn't
come
sure what we were
down,
going to do
or-
with that. We didn't really get too deep into that because I wasn't sure if it was something we were just going to get through on session 0 or roleplay or not. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, I didn't really go too detailed in that, but we can if you guys want to.
I'm not particularly, invested in having to RP it. Like, I don't mind skipping it. But if anybody wants to go look around there.
Well, since we're gonna just do that and not RP it, did we find anything interesting?
Other than it's a floating house. And the person that there's rather interesting. There are a lot of weird and crazy artifacts and items that are there. So pretty much everything in that house is interesting. The house itself is interesting. The person is interesting. It's literally everything is interesting. So
So is
so
like
far and
really
wide
just about to tie a house to her and steal it?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
So, like,
Yeah.
so far and wide, basically what it is.
Man drinking Dos Equis, like.
He's the most interesting.
This
man.
is the most interesting house
Yeah.
in the entire world.
Yes. But if you remember, the thing with it is, it's not really just like, hey, it's a shop. It's more of a trade type deal. Like he's a collector. He likes to collect things.
Oh.
So there are a lot of. That's why they're all unique and interesting items. So if there's anything that you're looking for in particular, if he doesn't have it, he could probably find it. But it's more of a barter situation.
Is there anything I could just, take without being taught?
I would like
you
to
want to roll sleight of
perform.
hand?
I would like to perform an act of aggression against the DM. What's his name? And
What?
what's his race? And what does he look like?
The guy up there?
Yeah.
Hold on. His name is Anselin.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
Oh dang!
Could you
Uh,
spell that?
Yes, Ancelin. And he's an old guy, and he's about 4 foot tall because he's got a huge hunchback. Like he's like super hunched over with a
Aw.
cane. He's really old.
Aw.
He has human features, so he doesn't have like long ears or anything. So he doesn't look like he's elf or anything. But he's surprisingly old. But he's very kind of happy and giddy like all the time when he talks to him.
Is he high?
Maybe, you don't know.
Heh.
You
Are
know,
you trying to medically discern if he is high?
I'll be the judge of that.
can I? I have no medical training, but
That's metagaming.
Medical gaming.
Me-
Yeah, you can do.
metagaming?
So he's just like a sweet old man.
I didn't say he was sweet. He's kind of kooky. He's just like giddy and laughs a lot and stuff when you talk to him.
Would I feel bad if I stole from him?
I don't know. Would you? You
I
know your
mean-
character more than I do. If you want.
If he's like a nice old man, I would.
Well, that's what he seems like.
If he's mean, then I wouldn't feel bad.
He if he's not high medicinally, he's high in the air.
How
funny.
high up are you, by the way?
How high?
How did we even
Um,
get there? Like, okay,
Wait,
you
so
know
we
what?
climbed down into
more
a
we
So
Okay,
talk
see,
about it,
see,
the more
you
I'm
said you didn't want to
curious.
go into it. Now you're going into it.
Dang it! It's interesting. Why
I
you
know,
gotta
that's
make the
why I
world
wanted to go.
interesting?
I wanted to go, but
The funny thing is like you asked questions. We didn't have to come
No,
here.
'cause-
You started
Dang it.
asking questions.
Yeah, I admit it's my fault. I had something else in mind to start, but I got distracted by the interestingness.
So, let's just go this route. Is there anything weird, unique that you guys were looking for in particular when you were asking about coming here?
Well,
I just want to.
go for
Sorry, I
it.
just want to put this out. So did the house like come down to floor level for us, or did they all somehow get up there?
You got up there via a portal.
A door.
Mm.
Ooh. maybe.
It was a round. It basically think of Stargate. It was kind of like that.
Okay. I was just trying to decide if they had to climb, they had to stand on the floor, on the ground.
Nope.
But if it was like a portal step through, then
Okay.
So again, anything unique or interesting that you were looking for when you had the idea of coming here, or were you just curious on where he got the object?
Well, for Gomo, last time I messaged you what he was looking for specifically.
Boy, I don't remember that. I have to go
It's
look
not
now.
that far up. You don't even have to scroll.
I don't.
I think so. Yeah.
While I'm looking, is there anything anybody else wanted?
I was just curious to what he had because I like taking stuff. But now I feel bad because he's a little old man. So I'm not going to take anything.
I don't know. I'm thinking less little old man. I'm thinking more like Boomy from like Avatar.
That's what that's the image I
yeah,
had.
that's what I had in my mind too. I was like,
Little
this is less
cackling
nice
old
and
nut
cute
job.
and more.
But I wouldn't want to steal from Boomy either. I feel bad.
I wouldn't.
Are you telling me to steal something?
There's a man child. Boomy.
Yeah, and that
I
man
would- I
child
wouldn't
might
feel
find
bad
you
stealing
later.
from Boomy.
Huh?
I wouldn't. Don't worry about it. Do what
Because
you
if I steal something, I'm not looking for anything in particular. It's just whatever I could get my hands on.
Okay.
So it would be the
Do
DM's
what
discretion.
Lily would do.
What would Lily do? That's a scary thought.
Okay. Well, if we're ready, I'm gonna steal something.
Are you really?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Hold on, let me
It's
go
gonna
get
push
my
me
other
off the
character
house.
sheet. It's gonna be TPK right off the bat, session 0. Session
13
1.
plus 10.
Oh,
So, is there? What are you trying to steal? Is there? You just pick a shiny object, or?
Yeah, I don't have anything in particular in mind, so DM discretion, whatever I took.
Okay, so, as this gentleman is kind of bringing you around, talking about things and his times, and he's like pointing at items and giving you little stories of how he got them. Because that's one of his favorite things to do as a collector. He just likes it's all about the stories and stuff. So he shows you this dagger that it's only like 2 inches. It's a tiny little dagger. Like the blade is like 2 inches, and it's extremely dark blade, like obsidian almost.
Ooh.
And you pocket it, you grab it, and as soon as you grab it and pull it off of the pedestal,
Oh no.
you poof, and you reappear right outside the house in the
I
air
knew I was gonna get
without the knife, by the way.
Oh man. How high did I have to roll to keep it?
Well, I rolled a natural 20,
Oh man.
and there are reasons why it probably wouldn't have mattered anyways. But the interesting
I'm in
is
the air.
you're
Shit.
but you're just floating there. You're not falling,
Well, this is interesting.
and you're kind of just like slowly kind of like rotating, kind of like if you were in space, like slowly spinning. Kind of it's a weird feeling.
And this is
This
this is a punishment?
This is the best episode we have ever had. She's finally gotten caught. She's finally has her come up and we can
I
leave
would-
her.
No, this is not punishment. This
I would
sounds like
just-
fun.
I would just like to note, Lily's suddenly there. Lily's suddenly gone, and Groker's like actively like, where did she go?
Well, the rest of you, like as you're like he's in the front of you leading you, and she was kind of like behind trying to grab it. So there was no noise or nothing. So I mean, I don't know if you guys could maybe check if you want to notice that she was gone, but there was no noise of her disappearing or nothing. She just vanished.
I'll roll for it.
Go for
Yeah.
it. Make a perception.
What is it?
If I had
Oh,
DM
boy.
inspiration,
I'm not gonna see anything. Lily,
What?
who's that? We don't know. We don't know her.
If I'm floating around in the air, I'm probably having a lot of fun, by
It's
the
like you
way.
forgot her existence.
Just hear
Completely.
wee from outside.
Yeah, like, wee!
If I had DM inspiration, I would happily expend it
Okay, hang on.
to ask the DM to make a roll of Constitution save to not throw up.
That's a 17 flat. Do I notice she disappeared?
Ooh, with the 17. So, Groger, thinking about the things that have happened recently between him and Lily, it's kind of
thinking
like
about the
Lily's
most
kind of on
important.
his mind, yeah, a lot lately.
The only item of interest
Can't
to
imagine
him
why.
in the whole
Yep.
house.
Yep. Yeah. If Groger was a collector, it would just be a piece. It would just be Liliola in a case.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'm
in a
get-
case.
Goodness.
What?
I don't know if
case.
anyone's gonna get this reference, but this is reminding me of Lenny from the Powerpuff Girls, like the nerd that was collecting all the
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girl merchandise. That's what that's giving me, and I'm not sure I like that.
You don't have to
So-
like it, you just gotta embrace it.
Oh god.
You do notice that she's missing.
Just so
Just-
you know, like, if I get down safely on the ground, I'm probably gonna ask to come back up so I could try that ride again.
Wait, so
Well,
is she
you-
floating mid-air, or is she just floating like downward?
you-
I mean, not that I know this, but
She's
Well,
afloat.
yeah, she's just.
I'm
there's
just floating.
Yeah. So.
We all float up here.
I'll get back to you in a minute, Lily. But Groger, you do notice that she's missing. Is there anything you wanted to do?
I mean, aside from look around and be like, oh
Panic.
god, where'd she go?
Just general panic.
It's like, yeah, just a bit of panic, and it's like, Lily has disappeared.
Still the floating air.
Well,
So, Lily, make a perception check.
Okay. 14 plus 10, 24.
Wow. You notice as you're floating there and you're kind of like enjoying yourself that the house is slowly moving around the town, and you're moving with it.
I'm in orbit.
So, pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, since I'm kind of stuck here, I'm just gonna like do like the Superman pose and follow the house.
So, so the guy informs you guys that she's fine, she's safe, but she tried to grab something without permission, and she will be returned when you guys leave.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I need to know. He told everybody,
That she was
Right?
trying to.
Mhm.
including Neelon.
Mhm.
Okay, I can talk my way out of this.
So he finally knows.
Well, no. She could have been
No.
innocently touching a display item,
Exactly.
as you do at stores and stuff.
Oh boy.
All I'm saying is Neelon finally has something.
So,
All this
Naota,
time.
is there? Were you looking for an item in particular, or?
Not that I remember. I think it was mostly just Goma that wanted to be here, right?
There was.
wait,
I just
Neilon's-
curious.
Neilon's not even there. This
Wait, where
place
did he
is-
run off to?
this
You
place
didn't
is
go?
weird about. We'll meet up later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wait, where did he run off to then?
Well, hopefully he doesn't look up in the air then.
He ran out to Laura, probably.
Probably. But yeah. So, Gomo.
Yes.
Throughout the tour, one of the things that shows up are these two little obsidian stones.
Oh.
And he explains that when you have when you two people have them, you can flick them and it does a ping, and it has a noise that goes with it and a vibration on the other side of it, so they're kind of connected.
Ah.
And once used, you can actually teleport from one to the other. Either way, doesn't matter. But once that's done, the crystal will go from a black to a clear, and it will lose its ability to do that again. So it's
So
a
it
one-time
basically
use.
has a one charge, one time
Yep.
use for. Yeah. Okay. So,
Are you perhaps maybe, willing to sell or trade?
No. Okay, maybe. Why? What do you have? It better be good.
Well, let's see. I'm rummaging through my bag, realizing I don't really have anything much in it anymore. How about this? And I reach for my belt and pull out the music box.
Ooh, that's curious. What does it do?
Well, I actually crafted it myself. It's a medium for a lot of different magic. You can use it to place different music. You crank this little knobby, and it'll, you wind it up.
He kind of like excitedly kind of hops over to you and like tries to grab it out of your hands.
Okay. Sure. Here. We can try it.
And he's like turning it over really fastly in his hands and like poking it and
So you gotta
trying
turn
to.
you gotta turn the knob on the side. Yep, there you go. And yeah, like that. And then it plays music, and let's see. It will play one of my random spells. Or cast/play. Can I permanently lose a spell and have it be imbued to this item?
Ooh.
Because let's be honest, it's a spell focus for me, so
Right.
it by itself is magical, but it won't do anything.
Yeah. It's just a focus, right?
Yeah, I want it to actually have value.
I don't know about imbuing. I mean, that's a whole thing on its own. That would have like required a lot of time and energy to imbue an item, which it is possible. Like we've talked about how a lot of things have imbued magical essences in them. But
is he doing this in the open? Like we're all standing there, and is this
yeah,
bird conversation or?
Is it?
No, I'm not being secretive about it. I mean, if you guys are there, you can hear it.
He's like, oh, well, this is a nice item. It is lovely, quite lovely. I'll take it, but I need more. You know that the purple skin one that just poofed? She had a book with her. That was quite interesting.
Oh, I wouldn't know much about that. She doodles in it. She draws penises and cupcakes.
Well, from what I could tell, it had quite a lot of magic.
Quite a lot of penises, yep.
Maybe something else? Something that...
I don't know, you tell me. What do you have?
DM, I'm curious. The figurine, is that still attached to her chest?
Like, yes.
Okay. We're gonna do an early callback then.
Whoa.
Well, I have this, and I mean she call her simple because she's in normal clothes. So, and I know a Hydra that could probably take it off.
Don't bring up that charlatan in my house. And he comes over to you, and he kind of like looks at what you're talking about, the little imprint on your chest. And he says, "What is it? What does it do?"
And she'd summon one of the. I'll usually use the bird, but I'll summon just the little dino.
Okay, so you see it disappear off your chest, and it kind of forms out, and he kind of like does like a hoo-hoo-hoo, and he gets all giddy and laughs and kind of hops around a little bit, and he's like, "That's wonderful."
It also takes a different form, so instead of the music box, would this work?
I have never seen such a thing. It is quite unique. Quite unique. I will take it. Yes.
Do you have a way of removing it?
What do you mean removing it? It's right there. I can see it.
I mean, it's kind of stuck in a weird way.
It looks quite fine to me. I'm not sure. Oh, you mean before you summoned it?
Yes.
Can
So I'd be willing to.
Can you put it
up.
back?
Yeah, she would.
Okay. So as it appears that you're on your chest there, he's kind of
Mhm.
stares at it for a minute, and he kind of like puts his hands together, rubs them together a little bit, and then slowly starts to like reach out to your chest, and his hand glows like a weird green color,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of like he puts his fingers right up to it, and he's touching it, and you feel it get a little. It does like it feels kind of warm to the touch,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can feel his fingers kind of like come together, and then he pulls away, and he has the thing in his hands.
Did it hurt or anything?
No, it just
Okay.
the warmth of it. You felt that.
Okay.
What? He got it off.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
What?
That's
Oh, that was nothing. I learned that ages ago.
slow turn to look at Groger.
Could you would you be able to do something like that with this?
Possibly.
show
But what do I want
the-
that for? I have 4 already.
Wait, 4? Wait, what?
You have 4?
Oh yes.
What?
They're quite common right
Wait.
now.
What? Oh.
Could we maybe pay you to take it off?
Bah. Who needs money? Money's boring. But thank you for this. And he takes the 2 items, and he hops over to the little gems, pulls them off the little case they're in, puts the other 2 items on there for now, and then turns around and gives you the little stones. Here you are. Here you are. Whew, I think that was well worth it, don't you? Come along, more to see, more to see.
Was I thought that was instead of the music box? Or
Oh
should-
no, it was
No, it's both.
It was both.
Okay.
Well, well, it's
Are you gonna be okay without your music box?
oh yeah, I'll be fine. It's more about these stones, like that.
Oh.
Fun fact, it's not my first time seeing them. I mean, probably
Huh.
not these exact ones, but
Is this for you and your sister?
maybe.
That's very sweet. I know how worried you were about her.
Yeah. Well, are you gonna be okay without your little?
Yeah, I mean, the last few
I'm
times it
making the
didn't
flying
exactly do us
motion
any
with my
good.
hands, like the
Oh, yeah. I mean,
lizard bird.
I've done it before. I mean, the last time we tried it, didn't exactly bring us to the person we needed it to, so, you know,
It tried.
I don't.
It tried. Well, I mean, it had a lot of potential. I mean, maybe you could have experimented with it. I mean, I don't know. I owe you one. I owe you one for sure.
I
Thanks.
probably shouldn't take anything like that down there. I'd have to explain where I got it.
The stone.
Yeah.
If you say so. I mean, well, it could be pretty useful.
It seemed like what you needed was more important. I mean, especially if they're that pricey.
Yeah, these are pretty powerful. I'm just gonna make sure I don't lose it. I'm gonna put it in a pouch.
Okay. Now go ahead and make a perception check for me. That's right. Move that dinosaur. Move it. Oh, ouch. It did not like being moved.
Also, it's not a dinosaur. How dare you?
I mean, I couldn't tell, but I think now I see it. Is it a
also
kobold?
technically product placement?
Wow.
Oh, I bought it.
How dare you promote an already million subscriber channel?
He's adorable. We have this. Oh, what
You
was
could
it?
have Nyota there.
Perception.
I don't have a Nyota. Oh, the light. Possibly.
Yes.
Perception. It's 11 plus 4. 14. 15.
15. So, one of the other things that you guys see, well, there's gonna be two things that I'm gonna bring up. One is with the mention of the collars, you do go by later and you do see these like these mannequins. They're just like the head mannequins, and there's a row of them, and they all have one of those collars on them.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. And the other thing you see is a very similar looking, or a gem that looks very similar to what you used to have on your, what was it, a necklace?
Yeah, it was just a basic ruby.
Yeah. Looks exactly like it, actually. The only problem is it's in 4 pieces. But it's like laid out on this like this cloth piece, and it's like laid out where they would be together. And yeah, he does talk about, so for the gem, he does talk about how it used to be a key to open the gate, and it was the one that they used to use in Arden Run to open the gate in Arden Run before the gem had been broken. But he had collected it because it's a part of, it's unique.
So there's no magic in it.
Oh, I'm sure the magic's all gone. I mean, I don't detect any magic in it. But then again, I never saw what it looked like or felt like before it broke. Who knows?
May I promise I won't take it. But may I just hold a piece?
Oh, sure. And he just like grabs one real fast and just kind of like tosses it to you.
I mean, she'll hold it and just look sad.
I would like to say Groker is very quiet. Like he is visibly disappointed and frustrated right now, but he's just intentionally not saying anything. Like intentionally like
Because of the necklaces?
that, and also because he doesn't have anything he can trade that would convince him to take his off. So now he's just like so close. So close.
So when you guys get to the necklaces part of the walk, he does explain how that they're from a time past when Oswin were used as slaves, and they used to use these collars on the Oswin to keep them docile enough to be used as slaves.
How ironic.
Yeah. So so that's kind of a little bit of a backstory from those things. But yeah. So If there's nothing else, we can say the tour was completed. Yes? Everybody good with that?
I'm bored of flying. Can you let me in?
Depends on if everybody's done.
Yeah, Kroger's ready to leave. He's ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I'm absolutely ready to leave.
Okay. So as soon as you guys go, you get to the portal. Liliola, you're poofed back.
Okay.
And as you go through the portal, you step out at an alleyway. Just a back alleyway. It's a random one. It was not the same one that you got there from.
Lily, where the heck were you?
I was flying.
Uh-huh.
I was.
Sure.
Yeah, I how else would I? Did they see me poof back in?
Nope.
I mean, yeah, there's probably like you poofed in behind them or something.
As long as you're safe.
You didn't steal anything, did you?
No.
Squinty, like fry squinty eye.
I tried.
You what?
I tried.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I.
Tell
What?
me you didn't.
I didn't.
I don't trust you.
But you just told me. Okay. Look, Milan told me to tell the truth. You told me not to do it. What am I supposed to say?
This is sorry, I don't want to like cut in, but I do need to point out, Groger's not, like, he's walking away. Like, as soon as he confirmed that Lily is okay, he started walking away.
Dang, Panda with us
Oh, wait,
rhymes.
notice?
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't notice.
Wait, away from the group?
Oh, yeah, no, he's leaving. He's just walking away.
Hey, Kroger, where are you going?
Don't change the subject, young lady.
But, yeah,
Oh
but
my god. Okay, Mom.
okay, I'll tell you what happened. I saw a pretty dagger. I really liked it a lot. I thought it would look good on me because it matches my clothes, and I tried to take it, but I ended up poofing and I was flying around for a while, and now I'm here. What's wrong with Kroger?
Holy shit, I think she's telling me the truth.
I think he just needs some time.
Oh,
Ace, you need to speak up.
yeah, thank you.
Closer to the mic.
It's just Discord being fucky.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Again. Ugh. Rage.
She said, I think he just needs some time.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm going to follow him.
fine. I'm begrudgingly following.
oh. I
Keeping
mean, I'm not
distance.
going anywhere in particular. I'm just walking. Or, yeah, he's just walking around, just...
Then I will just walk along with him, beside his side.
Alone.
Like, I know you're there, or like...
Okay,
like
you
just...
need to let go of that brain cell, because I was thinking that too.
Stop.
No, my brain cell. You can't have it.
We only have one you have to share, children.
No, but they had it last week.
No, that's very fair. Gummy usually does steal it. Gummy, give it back to Panda.
Well, I mean, it's between him and Lily right now.
No, I'm just like I'm walking beside him, not saying anything. You know, he's alone, so I'm walking alone with him.
All right. Crazy people, where are we walking? Or is this just a montage moment of just walking?
I mean, as long as
Well,
you don't walk off a
Sad.
cliff.
Sad walk.
Yep.
No, he's... When he notices that you guys are following him, he's going to stop. You needn't be concerned about me. I will return later. You should head back.
Where
Okay.
are you going?
I just need a moment, please.
Let's go.
And he'd try to give like a reassuring smile, but it just comes out very sad. And he just keeps walking.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you're wanting out of this, or you just is Groger just taking a moment?
He's just taking a moment.
Okay.
Dang.
So,
I just realized my mic was off. This whole darn time.
I was wondering why you weren't saying anything.
Oh my god, it was so weird because I was saying things and there were responses. Like, what? Like, I did not know until now. Apparently my
I'm
feedback
sorry,
protection kicked in. No,
Okay,
it wasn't anything important. Anything too important. I was just asking DM what time of day, and I was just
Oh, okay.
like,
Good job, you pulled a me.
I would say
it's
it's roughly noonish.
noonish. Like,
It's
don't
almost
don't go too
noon.
far. There's food at the house. You know the way back, yeah?
Hey DM,
That's me.
can I stealth follow him to where nobody sees me?
Again?
Oh boy, we're gonna play this whole thing. It's just gonna repeat from freaking last time. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
All right, call me when the thing's done.
Yep.
Let me see. 12 plus 10, 22.
All right. Do you want to roll perception, Groger? You can
sure.
choose not to if you want.
I'll roll for it.
Cover the
Just to see
children's
if he
eyes.
notices. This is the one time. Like, please, not one. Like, I will never ask her. Please. This is the one time.
Watch a 20.
So it's an 11 flat. So
You don't see.
I don't
So
think I've ever
where
heard
does,
someone be this excited to fail a skill check?
Yeah. Where does Liliola perceive you go? Anywhere in particular?
I'm not bothering. I'm
you
just following.
know. Okay, there. I don't know the name of it. What's that? Isn't there the church?
Church of the Divines?
Yes.
Mhm.
The Pantheon.
He's just gonna wander and find himself there. And while he's there, he's going to remember somebody that he hasn't seen in a while, and he's going to wonder if perhaps they're there. So, he's allowed to go in. There's not going to be anyone that stops him or anything.
Well, no. There's
Like
just
guards and
there's just
everything.
a front area. Where,
Okay, I'm trying to I can't I don't really remember if there's guards or anything there. If it's just like, oh, you walk in and you walk out.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty open. I mean they let
Okay.
meant for
Okay.
anybody to be able to be there and worship.
But he is looking for, if I can remember the name, aka let me look at my notes. Shit, because I don't remember his name. Isn't it like Shum or something?
Yeah, Shum.
Shum? Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah. He's gonna see
Yep.
if Shum's in there.
Okay,
And
so
do I have to roll perception for that?
no, there is a person that you can ask. It's they are there to answer any questions anybody might have.
Okay.
And they tell you that Shum is not in at the moment. He is on a pilgrimage to Ardenrun.
I see. Well, as long as he is all right. That was my main concern. And he's just gonna, like, I assume, it's a church and there's like chairs to like sit or something like.
Mhm.
yeah, he's just gonna sit and just kind of bury his face in his hands. And he's just sitting there.
Okay. So as Groger, Lilo, you watch as Groger talks to one of the people up front for a little bit, and then takes a seat, and does Groger things.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna, like I said, sit alone with him. I'm not gonna like bother him right now because he wanted to be alone. But
Okay.
still like I'm being a stalker.
All right. Well, do we want to just continue on the story a little bit? We'll forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So where does everybody want to meet up? What's the next part of the leg of the journey? Hello, anybody?
Food.
Bueller? Jeez, like no one wants to talk?
Well, I was starting to, but then I realized I was muted.
Oh,
Neelon,
Yeah.
did you get any response from the council?
I'm not sure. Did I?
Did you send a response? What did you send again?
It's essentially it would have been we have new developments. Would like to request counsel.
The response would be very well, that can be arranged. Please return when you can.
Alrighty, understood. And while they're doing their magic item shopping, he probably would have been like at the very least like taking care of like maybe a food run for food in the barracks, some along those lines.
Okay.
And then whenever they meet up, yeah, he's gonna mention like, hey, we got an answer. Who's gonna go?
Okie dokie. Well, since no one is talking, I guess I will say that we'll skip, I guess, anything else in this town, and you can make your way back to Ardenrun. How are you going? Via teleportation, I think you said?
Yes, teleportation circle in the church. Same way we went last time.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that we're not skipping past Groger coming back or anything like that, if you had any plans.
Oh, I mean, he's just gonna come back, but he has nothing to say.
Oh. Hold on.
That's what I mean. I asked, guys. I was like, "What? Does anybody have anything else? Are we moving along? Like, no one said anything, so I just kept going."
Oh, hold on.
For the Arden Run stuff, it's probably just going to be like a 2-day thing. One to hang out with his family, and then visit with the council, stay the night with his family, and then take off sometime during the day to head back to Opalost.
Oh, okay. You're wanting to do that solo?
No, whoever wants to come, but that's
Okay.
the plan.
All right. Groger, was there? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Was there something you were saying
Oh.
you wanted to do?
Just doing
Me?
some quick.
Oh my god. Other than that,
Wait, what?
what do you mean? Wait, what?
You're the one that said it.
I literally just said it that way.
What I literally said was, Groger, was there anything you wanted to do? And you said me.
I said
I'm all red now
Oh.
because I didn't mean it that way.
You're the worst. You're the worst.
You're the best. Shh, don't listen to him. You're the best. I love you.
Split personality confirmed.
I was about to say she sets up these things or something. I don't know.
My face is red right now because that's literally not what I meant.
Go ahead, Lily. What were you saying?
That's what you claim.
I'm not going to show my face in camera.
So
I
inferred.
was going to say that before we go, would it be okay if I like go talk to Groker real quick?
Sure.
DM, would that be okay?
Of course.
Everyone else, would that be okay?
No, it's not okay. How dare you speak
Oh,
to a party
no!
member?
It's not okay.
No, go for it.
Okay.
So, just to make sure we're back at Gomo's house, just want to make sure.
Well, I think this is like when I see that you're about to get up and go, I'm gonna
Okay.
like, jump in front of you and be like, yo, kind of thing. Well,
Oh.
not like those exact words, but
It's like jumping. Can we please have an animatic or something?
Lily just suddenly.
Golly, if you're here,
Suddenly,
please,
Lily.
please.
I'm gonna jump out from the
I'm-
bushes and be like, yo.
Lily appeared.
I'm imagining it like this. She tries to jump and then she just face plants right in front of him. She's just like,
Gets up with dirt full of face and is like looking cool, like, yo.
yo.
I totally didn't just fall and embarrass myself in front of my potential baby, just possibly. Not saying it is. Love interest.
So she
Aw,
just.
man.
She just
Yeah, I
pops
just
out.
popped out in front of him.
He's like, ah! He just, didn't know you were there, so you got him, startled him.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
That was not the plan, but sweet. Okay, so I don't know what happened back there. I was kind of like flying around, like I said, and stuff like that, but I've been watching you for a while and you seem kind of off. Are you okay? Do you want to talk?
Um, it was just really close.
Really close to what?
My collar. Before our eyes, he removed Leota's mark. He just took it off like it was nothing. And because I didn't have anything of value to offer, he wasn't interested in doing the same for me.
Well, now I don't feel so bad for trying to steal from him.
No, it's fine, Lily.
Kroger. She's gonna put her hand on his arm. It's going to be okay. Whether he does it for us or we get someone else, you're going to be fine. Trust me.
How can you be so certain?
Well, I have faith that someone as good as you are will be able to have good things happen to them. You're a much better person than I can ever be, that's for sure.
Please do not sell yourself so short. You are much nicer than you may think you are.
You know, I have a couple of things. Maybe we can go back there. I don't know if he'll let me back in, but I could give them to you.
No, that's... He just shake his head. Thank you, but... It's fine, Lily. If you have faith that there's another way, then I will try to have faith as well.
I do have faith. I really do. And I know you said you wanted to be alone. I'm sorry, but I decided that we could be alone together. Did we head back?
Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna take his hand and start pulling him along with her to head back with the others.
All right.
And
It's happening.
all I'm gonna say, there's a moment where it's just Lily, like, pulling his hand and they're walking together. And he's just processing that she's holding his hand, but he just, in that moment, like after a bit, she's gonna feel his hand slowly just hold her back and just over hers. He doesn't say anything, but yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that my heart is beating a little bit, and my face is probably a little blushed, but you can't see it because I'm walking in front of you.
Make a Liliola check.
A Liliola check? What's okay? What do I gotta roll for that? You know what?
No. Groger has to roll it.
Oh, okay. Kroger.
Liliola check. What is that?
Cameraman.
I
Like,
don't remember
if you
this
can-
on my stat sheet.
Yeah, it's to
Run
see
over,
it's
get
to
that
see if you can
face
figure out
facial
anything.
expression. Get it?
Yeah, to see if you can recognize anything. You know how women, they always say that women can't understand women, men can't understand women. That's what the check is for.
Would
You
that be
get like a
insight?
-10 to the roll.
Are
So
you serious?
Okay.
Are you actually legitimately introducing PC gender imbalance?
Now I want to, just because you said that.
I'm playing a female. I'm okay with this.
I don't know what to talk about. I didn't say anything.
Anyways, is there anything else anybody wants to do now? Is anybody else going with Neelon back to Ardenrun?
Naoda would.
Okay. Going once, going twice.
I probably would have gone to specifically ask. Actually, no. Specifically ask Rodon if he would go. He's got a better memory for specifics.
Bit shocked, but if I've had my book from if I've gotten my book from last time, then he'll acquiesce and go.
Okay. So is there all right, so we'll just say the three of you get together and find your way to the teleportation circle and teleport back to Ardenrun the same way you did previously, where you are met by guards, but this time they are expecting you.
Cool, so
And they
better
just kind
entrance
of
than last time.
yeah, and they just kind of and they just once you get there, they figure out who you are, and then they just let you go about your business. They're not escorting you. You're free to do whatever it is that you wanted to do.
Although that being said, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If Naoda's with us, what the hell is Magic doing?
Ooh, that is a question. Naoto, would you care to answer for your pet?
I assume backpack. Child.
It's just in your backpack? I'm sure he loves that.
Yeah, but it's promise of lots of snacks later.
Okay.
Like donuts.
Hello, kitty.
No, more like they'll go on a little hunting trip together or something.
Ooh. Naoto's going
'Cause-
the way of the Alzak.
Because I assume she tried to keep magic at Gomo's house, but it didn't work.
Yeah, no, that
Much like you like when you like put a cat in a room and you close the door and you turn around and the cat's standing there and you're like, what the So backpack it is.
Okay. So the three of you are free to move around the city as you wish.
Oh, did they already leave?
Yeah. Did you want to go?
No. I wanted to catch them as they were leaving.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, you want to backtrack a little bit?
Backpedaling.
Just a tiny bit. When they're
Go for it.
right up to when they're leaving through the portal. I'm gonna like burst into the room. Oh, why you guys have such long legs? Hold on.
Talk to them. I had to keep up with them the whole time.
By the way, I'm like looking at one of the hooded, like cloaked figures, like petition to move the teleport circle downstairs on the first floor. Like, why does it have to be 3 fucking flights of stairs?
They just kind of look at each other and shrug.
Hold up, before you go. And I'm holding my hand out in a tight fist.
All right,
anybody
I'll
gonna-
put my hand down.
And I'm gonna drop one of the 2 obsidian crystals for emergency's sake. You'll be back soon. You can give it back, when you come back. Just in case.
I thought this was for your sister.
And you can give it back, and I can give it to her. I'm staying here. I wanted to go. I had some more research I wanted to do too, but I figured it's probably best to spend, time I can spend when I can. I'm sure you understand. I'm looking up at Nilan.
Yep, that's what the next 2 days are for.
Yep.
That's always a good idea. Yeah.
So, all right, safe travels, and say hi to Sunshine and Vivi.
Will do.
All right. Bring back some donuts while you're there.
Are you gonna give us money for that, or do you expect us to pay for that ourselves?
Wow, you caught on
No.
pretty quick on that whole money concept finally, didn't you? Jeez, okay.
No,
I'm
it's
like-
fine.
No,
We'll-
I'm like
no, it's
pulling
fine.
out like
We'll get
3
some.
silvers.
No, you keep it.
No, but seriously, take it. Like, maybe get some nice meal with Nilan and the whole family.
You know what? Naoto would take it, and then she'd pat him on the back, and I want to reverse pickpocket him and put them back.
Sleight of hand it. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Do I need to contest this? Hold up.
Yeah,
What
you
is it?
can.
Perception?
Yeah.
All right. Sleight of hand.
Oh my
Ah,
god.
this is great.
Wow.
First of all, how
Wow.
dare you?
That is a 14 plus 5.
Here it comes. That's a 15 plus
Like 10 or something, right?
6.
Yeah. Okay. So you would notice her doing it, but If you want to do
As I
something
pat you
about
on
it,
the
it's up to
back.
you.
Can I reverse?
Oh my god!
So as she pats you on the back and tries to put the money in, you're seeing this, and then you're also trying to put money
Can I-
back in her. Yeah, doing the same thing. Reverse Uno.
No.
All right,
God.
same thing. Sleight of hand
This
and
is how
perception.
it escalates.
You just
And-
fucking
and-
escalating. No, you.
And noticing that this has happened, can I use what is it?
Dear. If you
Well-
bait
well-
me, I'm gonna be really mad.
No. Why Bane? I mean, I could do that too. Sure. Thanks for reminding me, by the way. You know what? I want to see your roll first, because I can choose after if you succeed.
Perception?
I don't think I see any of this. I rolled a 15. I'm just like, why are you two hugging?
You know,
Like,
I'm
this
gonna
is weird.
try that as well.
I'm
I
patting,
rolled
back
just-
patting, but
what is that? A 17.
even with my perception, that's a 3 plus 4.
Well, you didn't roll sleight of hand. There we go.
11 plus doesn't matter.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Shit.
right
So-
back at
so-
you.
Yeah, so Nyota, you think you took the money and then put it back without him noticing. And you're like, oh, that was nice
of
of him.
herself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, hey, I saw Lily do that. That worked.
And then once again, Neelan, you don't see what's going on over there, but you see the two robed figures look at each other and shrug again.
Just a few seconds. I'm sorry.
Oh, quite all right, quite all right. You know, we don't have anything else to do.
They're
This is
sarcastic-
probably the
they're
best
being
entertainment they've
sarcastic,
seen
by the
all
way.
day.
Can I insight for sarcasm?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
And yes, you succeed. You don't.
that's in that one.
You still succeed. They're being sarcastic.
I'm not
Glad
there,
I got
but I have a
that.
question. I'm
Huh?
not there, but I have a question. Is that like their job to just stand there?
Well,
Kind of-
they escorted them to the room, and they're waiting until
Oh.
they leave, until they use the circle.
Okay, I thought they were like the English guards or something like that. Okay, never mind.
With a floofy hat.
Oh my god, that would be the best.
Just standing there with a spear and full
Make
armor.
way for the quiz god.
I would see them more like the two boat guards from Pirates 1. You know, the two. Yeah. I have seen the ship with black sails.
Is there a suspiciously one skinny cloaked figure and then one tubby cloaked figure?
All right.
Uh,
So
it's R2 and
now
3.
you guys can go through.
Thank God.
How much stupid money am I adding?
3 silver.
No, just 3 silver. It's 3 silver out, 3 silver back, and 3 silver back at you.
She will find out.
Good thing I had
She
7
will remember
silver
this.
pieces. Otherwise, I was like, oh, I have to sacrifice a gold piece.
Naoda will remember this.
No, she won't. She doesn't know.
Oh yeah. She
She
will
didn't
eventually.
figure it
Maybe.
out.
I guess it all
No,
depends on how much
I-
money you have.
Maybe.
I
Depends
mean,
on
'cause
how
if
much
it's a
math
giant
you were
coin
doing.
purse, yeah. If you have a giant coin purse, it's probably not going to notice.
Mixed in there. Mhm.
Coin place.
Point place.
Boing, boing.
Anyways,
And off to Arden.
All
Next
Alrighty.
time she sees him, he's just gonna get three silvers
Did
thrown in
the,
his
did the
face.
Kobold camera crew follow
Anyway.
through as well?
The what?
The Kobold,
The Cobalt
crew?
camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it went through.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Coin purse. Coin place.
Coin place. Listen,
Anywho.
we need to have that. We need to have a behind the scenes, and then have them with like a Cobalt camera crew behind them. Like, yes, that's amazing. Okay, so Neelan, Nyota, Rodon, you are now in Arden Run. Where are you headed?
I'm assuming the meeting is going to be set up for the following morning, so I'm
Well,
going to
it's whenever you had the option to tell them you were there. Like you said, you were on the way, but they didn't know when. So they didn't want to set a meeting up and be like, yeah, it's today, and then you're like, oh, I can't make it today. So they're
then
waiting.
for convenience sake, first thing in the morning.
Sounds good. So
That way there's some prep time. It's not like, oh hey, surprise, we're here. Let's do this now. You know.
Mhm.
And plus, that'll give me some time with family, do the meeting, spend a little bit more time, have lunch, and then head back.
sweet. All right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do here in the capital of Ardenren?
Rodon's gonna look for a church.
You're gonna look
specifically
for
to
a
Aeona.
church. Specifically to Aeona. Oh, yeah, sure. You can find a church to Aeona.
Yeah, I'll point them in the right direction.
Since we're not going right away, I'll be on the outside of the city, with magic, just like hunting and just trying to stay out of sight.
Okay.
Okay, you guys remember where the house is. I'll see you there.
I mean, she'd tell Neelon where she'd be just in case. She's not just gonna run off.
Yeah, and
Yes,
obviously Rodon is probably going to refamiliarize himself with where Neelon's house is located, then go off to do his thing.
She'd say hi to the siblings and stuff, you know. Also, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, last time the siblings saw magic, it was an egg, so it's like, look, it lives. So that before she runs off.
It's a big lizard.
That's gonna be interesting.
It's alive!
It's like, so you know that egg thing that you let me keep in your house? This is it.
So I will say, one thing you notice while you guys are going through the streets is a bigger population of Oswin. Not necessarily guards, just civilians.
Hmm.
Do they look comfortable to be there, or are they more like hesitant?
Make a perception check. Well, make an insight check.
Either way, this could be pretty high. Folks, my insight.
Nope.
15 plus 1.
Okay. So as you're kind of noticing them, because I mean they stand out there. Not only do they look different, but their attire is different as well. You know, so they do kind of stand out, and you can kind of tell that a lot of them, the ones that you see, they do tend to stay by themselves or walk with other Oswin, or and a lot of other people are kind of giving them a wide berth. So you can tell that it is a little, there's still tension there, but they're not openly attacked. There aren't, there's no tomatoes being thrown at them or anything like that. So okay. Is there anything you guys want to do in the city?
Nope, just immediately heading home.
Okay. Is there anything you guys wanted to RP?
Just a quick little. Just. Vivi, sunshine, I'm home.
And you hear some footsteps, and the door opens, and Vivi is there. She's got a bruise on her cheek, but other than that, she seems fine. And she says, "Oh, you did come back." And
Yeah.
quite, that was actually quite fast.
Yeah. About that. Is Sunshine home? This is live.
No, he's at work.
Okay. Do you know when he's going to be back? Or when does he close up shop usually?
He closes whenever he closes. He's just whenever there's no more business for the day.
Okay. All right. Well, first things first. Is Nyota with him?
Nyota, are you with him? I'll take that as a no.
Speak.
Whenever
Yeah,
whenever Nyota gets back, just
Oh, call dropped. Why are you putting that?
She says it in Twitch chat.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Why are you putting
So
that in Twitch?
so do we want to take a break,
sure, that works.
and then we can try to get this situated, and I'll grab another drink. Okay.
Are you gonna do what happens in like TV shows where you cut to commercial and then you come back and you re-see like look the last couple of seconds
Yep.
of the scene?
Yeah. Commercial. Commercial.
Do commercial
Commercial break.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Whee!
I'm
Plus, we're
glad.
coming up
I'm
on-
glad.
I feel like
I
we're gonna
really like
come
our
back and
brain
it's
cell.
gonna.
We're coming up on like an hour and a half anyway, so yeah,
Yep.
that works.
All right, well,
I re-
BRB, guys.
Yep. I really like our brain cell.
Join the
Yep.
Discord, by the way.
And welcome back. All right. So, we were just heading off to Neilon's house. He knocked on the door, and Vivi answered. And he had asked if Neoda was there. And Neoda, are you there?
Hoi.
Is it Neoda or
Hello.
Nyota, or does that depend on the dialect?
Yeah. It's
Huh?
both. It's yes. It's all.
At this point, like everybody says it differently. It's just.
Yep.
as long as you get
literally
it
just said it
cool.
different twice in a row.
You know.
I mean Zafian. I mean it is what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
but she is there. Yes. Magic is in the bag at first though, so it's not super
It's not super
seen.
noticeable.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's there, just kind of like leaning on the door frame, and she's like, "Are you guys coming in?"
Yeah. Come on. And they'll
Mhm.
step inside. Okay, we have some news. Well, a lot of news. A few different types of news. Promise me you're not going to freak out.
Oh, I can't make promises now that you just said that.
Just maybe don't scream would be a good start. Only because I don't know how it's gonna handle.
If I scream, it's gonna be at Neilon.
Appropriate.
Let me know beforehand at least.
That's fair. Magic. Come here, buddy.
Naoto would put her bag down.
And she's looking around, very confused, like, magic?
Magic. Come here.
The bag is open.
All right, so you unzip like it's a backpack. You
Unhook
open
or
the flap,
whatever,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Whoa,
and then
you got a
there's
patent for that?
Damn.
and this albino dinosaur's head pops out, and she looks at it, and then looks at you, and then she says, "Okay, I might scream," and she starts backing up a little bit.
Please note he's safe. You remember the egg? The egg hatched.
Into magic.
This is magic. Yeah, it's a long thing. I tried to talk to him.
Elon named him.
I did not. He named himself. Do not put words in my mouth.
Why would you name him Magic?
I didn't. Son of a bitch.
It apparently tried to. Neilon trying to discuss how it was talking to it. It liked the idea of the name.
He liked the sound of it, so that's his name now.
He liked the sound of it.
He liked the sound of the word magic, so that is his name. He thinks
Your
it's
brother
his
can
name.
talk to it.
You can talk to it? And she's like kind of slowly kind of walking over to it.
Your brother
Yeah.
knows how to talk to animals.
Oh, come on, you knew that.
Raccoons really like him.
They do not. Or if they do, we're not doing this.
Stunning strike on Nyada.
Ah! What? You saw him get
in the
surrounded
form
by
of
like 20?
Bonk.
You saw him get surrounded by like 20 of them?
Your
Creatures don't do that unless they like you.
No, they do that because they want food. I'm not having this conversation, but he's okay.
She kind of goes up to it and slowly starts like looking at it and kind of like trying to judge. And can I just is petting it a thing? What do you do? Does it like being scratched? What is it like?
Chin scratches usually. Meat. Usually if you offer magic any kind of meat. Yeah.
So like I can
Just like Como.
offer like you can eat Neilon and then he'll like me?
I think he likes Neilon, so that's probably not the best idea.
Someone in
Well,
this
I
house
mean-
does.
I kind of like him too. I was just joking.
Aw.
Kind of punches your shoulder a little bit softly. Okay, well, that's a thing.
Okay, now that we're past that,
Hmm.
that's honestly the next part's the scary part.
There's more.
Goes up from here.
There's a lot happened last week. We were contacted by a god.
What?
Surprise.
Didn't know it was a god until like then, but yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
staring at you with like her mouth open.
Yeah, you know Lily's pen pal.
The book.
That one.
Oh, the book she's always writing penises in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's the
Apparently
method of
she's-
communication.
Apparently, she's been sending dick pics to a god. It doesn't reflect well on us.
okay. Actually, getting back in canon. Yeah. So that was Arthune.
What? Like the Arthune? You guys have been talking to Arthune this whole time and you didn't even know it?
No. I mean, I can contact Biana, but not like that.
How does that even work? And why you of all people? Sorry,
Well,
that
it
came
wasn't
out
exactly
harsher
him.
than it meant to.
I mean,
Sorry.
it wasn't exactly him. It was the. Do you remember the little halfling who was with us, all dressed in red?
Got possessed.
Yeah, that happened. Thank you for the backpedal, by the way. But yeah, it was a thing.
And that didn't come out too harsh. It is pretty weird that it would be us. So
I
you know.
mean, why? I mean, Dinchi has a point. If you're big into Biana, why would Arthune suddenly decide to? contact
Yeah.
you?
And
Po-
I don't
points
know
to
exactly.
Points
Yeah,
to his
that's
shield.
what I meant. Yes.
points to his shield, points to his tattoo. I mean, but Arthur, yeah, okay, that part. Honestly, this is the more. I thought this was gonna be the more difficult conversation, so this is better than I thought.
I just don't understand. That's
Trust us, we're having trouble as well.
Honestly, have you seen my grades? I don't understand most. But this one, I don't know. The long and short of it is, he put a lot of those books out to figure out who was best for the job, and apparently that's us. We're gonna
Really?
be doing a lot of travel. I don't know.
okay. Well, I mean, what does that mean? What is he saying?
Mm,
We might need to backpedal a little bit. How much do you remember of the creation?
The creation of what?
The gods?
Oh, of everything?
Of
Nothing.
specific- of
I
the
know nothing.
gods. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before. Okay.
But listen,
until
listen. You should know by now. Just because you talk about it doesn't mean I listen.
I expected this. I'm the oldest brother. No one listens to me. And he'll kind of go into a little bit of how the gods separated, their domain, specifically about Arthune, being tricked, the race that had their magic stolen, what he wants to do with us finding a way to bring it back, and we think that the Osmans are the people who had their magic stolen.
That's insane. What?
So was the possession we saw about 6
Okay.
days ago.
Okay, that's fair.
There's it's a lot to unpack. But I don't know. I mean, I've been in tune with Bayana since I was a kid. If there was any danger or any trickery, I feel like she would have told me about it, or at least given a sign.
Did you ask her? I mean, is that a thing you can do?
I mean, I can
he's
ask. But I
tried
won't.
contacting Bayana a whole bunch of times for guidance, although I don't know specifically about this one.
It's small stuff, but I didn't get any. It's usually a feeling, or sometimes it's a dream. It's never words. But I didn't get a bad feeling from this.
No. I mean, I trust. Dang it! Did that just slip out? Well, I already said it. I mean, I trust your judgment. So
Improvement.
But
Duck in case Neelan is flailing while he's celebrating.
Hey, small victories. This whole week has actually been pretty nice, and this is a cherry on top. Just gonna.
I would have thought it was the other one in the barracks, but okay.
and I don't know how Sunshine's gonna take this though. It's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Are, outside of that, are you okay?
Me? Yeah. Fine. I can handle news like this. I'm tough.
I also mean you. She motioned towards your face.
Oh, and then she kind of like puts her hand up, like gestures towards it, like almost like she forgot about it for a minute. Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine. Arden Run can be tough sometimes, you know? She kind of smirks.
Yeah, it can be.
Insight check. Has she gotten herself into that trouble, or
You can roll inside check. Inside truck.
that's not a good one? It's 7. 6 plus 1.
16 plus 4, 20.
I mean, she sounds genuine in the fact that it can be tough, you know. Nothing she said sounded off.
Huh.
But yeah, so yeah, we're going to talk to the council tomorrow. Try and see if we can get safe passage, because there's a lot. We think it has to do with, what was it, crystals? That
Oh, yeah. Are we supposed to gather crystals or something?
I mean, you can buy crystals in town.
It's very specific crystals. But we were given
Attuned,
some
I'm assuming.
clues. Yeah, we were given some clues, and 2 of them may, or I don't know how many there are actually supposed to be, at least yet. But some are on the Osmond side. So we're, before we leave, trying to get something,
Safe
we're
passage.
we're trying to get safe passage over.
Aha. I see.
Especially after
So-
the prison, that's going to be useful.
What you're saying is you're leaving again.
Not by choice.
What,
I
because
mean, if it's
some book told you?
Some god told me.
You don't know that. You told me it was from a book. I mean, how do you know? I could have written in that book.
Do you know how to do this? Oh wait, I don't have the book. Never mind. I can't.
Well, I'm
Have
just
it.
saying. I mean, you don't know what it is that this thing, whatever it is telling you is true. I mean, you don't know anything about it, and you're just gonna take its word at face value and just leave. I mean, what about us? What about your family? What about me?
It's you and Sunshine. That you're exactly why I'm doing this. Because if some calamity happens, which we've seen some weird stuff. I mean, honestly, he's proof, gesturing to magic, and everything that happened in Warser. There's a lot going on. If something happens and you 2 get hurt because of it, I would never forgive myself.
Well,
And
you're not
like I
going to be
said-
here to know. And she tries to walk past you and go to the door.
He's gonna hold a hand out to try and stop her. And I've talked to Bayana, and she hasn't given me any reason to doubt this. That is mostly what I'm taking at face value, is my matron doesn't see deceit.
I'll be back later with Sunshine and we can talk more.
Okay.
And she goes past you and goes out the door.
Once Vivi is for sure gone, she's gonna look at Neelon, and I'm just gonna frown and be like, "Do we tell them that about the weird dream we were all trapped in? Where we more or less
To be completely honest, Days, I can only hear about half of what you're saying.
Oh, I think it's okay. Do we tell them about the dream that we were all trapped in?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because they don't need to know that I slipped.
Sorry again?
They don't need to know that I slipped.
Oh.
Plus, discussed, there's a lot of unanswered questions to that thing that I just don't want to think about right now.
So then, do we want to go over what we are going to tell them? I'm just not used to hiding things from family, so I want to know what we are and aren't saying. Not that your family's my family, just
No, I'm gonna tell Sunshine exactly what I told Vivi.
Oh, okay.
Especially if Vivi is already having troubles with stuff that we only see as possibility. It certainly wouldn't do well to tell her about something that is completely within the mind. Not even sure if it's going to happen or not. Let's not weigh her down with any more information like that.
Well, whatever. I'm gonna wait for Sunshine, and he'll sit on the couch. Make yourselves at home. And unless there's anything else, Neilon's just gonna wait for Sunshine to get home.
About what time
Iota
of
would
day is
wait.
it, DM?
Hmm?
About what time of day is it?
Let's see. It'd be mid to late afternoon.
Rodan would find the church for an hour or two.
You know, I think Naota would just take a nap on the couch, if there's room.
Yeah, there should be enough room. With
So
her
just-
being only like 3 foot.
3'3", thank you. A few inches taller than Gomo. But yeah, she'd hoist herself up onto it
Hey!
and curl up into a little ball. You hear from across.
From across the
face.
grid.
This
In the
was
smallest
No,
anime.
of voice.
No, it's from
He's
the
sneezing.
freaking obsidian crystal that we got.
Wow, he's gonna waste it on that. Just strike it and teleport and be like, I heard that.
No, just hear the hey coming out of Neilon's pocket.
Achoo!
All right.
She-
Is
Yeah,
there
she'd curl
anything,
up in a little ball and nap.
wrote on anything you want to do at church?
He's specifically looking for Church of Aeona, and he wants to talk with a priest and just he's still kind of absorb all information mindset.
Okay.
Just kind of sit down and have another conversation with one.
Okay. Sounds good.
Does not need to be RP'd.
Yeah. Okay. When it gets close to sundown, you see Sunshine come in, Vivi right behind him. So they come in together. Rodan, are you back by then?
If it was late afternoon, I only wanted to spend like an hour or two. I probably would be either close arriving or not too far behind.
Wait,
Okay.
would that make sunset now? Ah.
Bonk.
I'm gonna set your sun. All right.
Surprise.
Oh, well, it's no surprise. Vivi told me you're here.
Hi. Poke her head over
Told
the
me,
sofa.
and you see he's like stopped at the door and he's like looking around. He's like, I heard there's some kind of lizard thing to look for, and he's still like kind of searching.
Magic.
You see magic like kind of crawl. You hear scratching noises, and your magic kind of crawl out from under the couch that you guys are on.
Oh, there you are.
And he kind of backs up a little bit, but Vivi's there, and he's like hits her a little bit, and be like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
He's nice. Actually, it's been a while since I think we've all taken a good look at. Is there anything different at all? Like size? Did he grow?
He's grown a little bit, not too much.
Okay.
I mean, you say it's been a while, but it's been a while for us. Not, I mean, it's only been like a week, really,
Yeah,
right? I
no,
mean,
but for the viewers, it's like still white, still like same size, still everything's normal.
Chicken
Yep.
size or whatever.
Man, I was
Okay.
nervous. I thought
Yeah,
she was
chicken
gonna
size.
say it's been a while since he ate.
it's been a while.
No. She's feeding him regularly. I'm just making sure
fresh
because
meat.
like. No, I'm just making sure because it's been a while since we've described.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Just make an overall perception check.
Okay.
Am I still keeping in mind what you sent me before?
Correct.
Okay.
What? Oh, good secrets. Perception?
No, not secrets. Plot developments.
Most
What's the difference?
Yes.
I think that's a +4.
Say it again.
+4.
8 + 4.
8 plus 4. Yeah, looks pretty much the same.
Okay. He's get scratchies then.
I mean, if
We
you're
would
feeding
get
him,
scratchies regardless, but scratchies.
if you're feeding him regularly, he's probably just filling out a little bit. He's not getting
Okay.
over. He's not turning a little chonk or anything. But
I want to picture that just little like chonk dinosaur.
fatty chunk dinosaur.
Actually, question.
Yes.
What you had messaged me before that I was keeping in mind, does that happen with me as well? Or is it only...
That's a good question. I sent you a message.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Copy that.
So, says yes. Well, it's interesting, and he kind of walks in the house more, so Vivi can enter and shut the door, and he kind of like he's giving it a wide berth. I'm like, it's kind of cool looking.
Yeah,
He's-
the egg hatched.
He's nice, I promise.
Gonna take
He's a
some
big
getting
sweetie.
used to, I think. He's got a lot of pointy things on him.
Does he?
I take offense to that.
He says he kind of does the Jack Sparrow like finger thing, like because he's like talking about his claws.
Oh. No, they don't hurt nobody. And she'd do the thing where you take your like when you like take your cat's paws and you boop 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 boop.
Magic's just kind of like letting you do it, and he's like watching it, and he looks at you and like tilts his head. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell
She'd
you
press her
doing?
nose against Magic's just.
No, he backs up on that one.
Okay.
He really is very sweet. I've
He's very
actually
shy.
talked to him.
You talk to him.
Yeah, you remember? I can do the thing where I can like talk to animals.
Are you sure you've appraised your family on your abilities lately?
No, I know he can talk to animals, but I mean, look at this thing.
Hey.
It's just what?
It worked.
All right.
But yeah, actually, yeah, that's the whole reason why. Yeah, but the raccoons wouldn't leave me alone for a while. But yeah, that same thing. It worked.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Magic.
Oh God, where do I start? There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I could tell.
Did Vivi tell you anything, or
No,
start from the beginning?
she just told me you were here, and had some news. Wouldn't really tell me much, but I could tell by her demeanor that she wasn't happy.
Okay, so, yeah, there's some stuff going on that we recently found out about, and yeah, it's you know what? No, I should probably just come out and say it like I did with Vivi. We were contacted by a god.
He looks between all of you and even Vivi and kind of nods his head and says, "Uh-huh."
There's a lot going on in... Oh God, I can't remember. Is it the continent that's Egrin, or is that Streyorea? The end.
Sorry. Oh, I had this huge itch. That was terrible.
Oh, good stuff.
Streyorea is the world.
Okay, so Egrin is the continent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a lot going on in Egrin right now.
Isn't there always?
Yeah, but have you guys gotten earthquakes recently? Like within the last few weeks?
No. I mean, I think I would feel it, right?
Well, there have been earthquakes going on kind of all over the place. God, where do I start with this? Okay, so...
I'm very confused where we're going right now. No, that's him saying it to you. Like, he's very confused.
So, the last time we got here, I think I told you a little bit about what happened in Warsaw. Right?
Yeah.
The town went up. There was the undead army. That's where we found the egg.
Okay.
So there's that going on, and there's these earthquakes, and there's this device that I think it might have been like a doomsday thing. I really don't know how to explain all of this without going back to the very beginning with like when we all met, because a lot happened all at once. But most recently, that book that Lily was writing and drawing in the last time we were all here, that apparently is what Arthune has been talking through.
Arthune.
The god of arcane knowledge, yes, Arthune.
Has been talking to you through a book.
Not me. But, yes, has been contacting Lily, and that's another piece of it. She made a contract with him, and it's a whole thing. But when we were in Opalhaus over the last week, we got down there trying to find Gomo's sister. We got there, we met her, we were kind of trying to explain the earthquakes and what was going on. We were getting little pieces of information, then all of a sudden, he was possessed. I don't know how to describe it other than that. But what was said was, and he'll go through that piece of information with being tricked, wanting to give magic back, right his wrongs, and so that's what we're being asked to do, is find these crystals and find a way to bring magic back to the Oswin side. And I tried contacting Bayana and seeing if there was anything strange. You know, I get dreams, or more than often feelings, which way, like which way she thinks it's going, and go based on that. I didn't get anything bad from any of this, so I really don't believe that there's any deceit. So I do think this is legitimate.
He just takes that in for a minute and looks at Vivian. She just kind of looks at him and shrugs.
Neelan, didn't you say if somebody tried to use a symbol or something again that belonged to a god, it wouldn't go well? So I assume that's worse if it's not, right? I'm sure there's a word for it.
Yeah, if anyone tried to use Bayana's sigil who either didn't take an oath or tried to use it in a deceitful manner, well, I've seen it backfire. I don't know exactly how it works, but it has.
So then pretending to be a god probably wouldn't go well either, right?
Well, that's just with sigils. I don't know. But even if I don't take Arthun's message, or whatever, at face value, I do take Bayana's comfort as something.
This is that's a lot.
Yeah, well, it is a lot. But I'm
So wait. So he kind of looks up for a second and then look down again and says, so Arthun contacts your group.
mm-hmm.
And what did he want?
So in the stories, he was tricked and told that there was magic that was being used for horrendous reasons.
Was this the story with Vinathrius?
Yeah. And that group was punished by taking their magic away. Well, if there's any truth to that, and plus other stuff that's going on the Oswin side, I think it's fair to assume that they're the ones.
Well, I mean, it's certainly something that's been theorized. I mean, it kind of, you put one together. I mean, the story says something lost magic, and they're one of the only things, that don't have magic. And we know they used to, so it does make sense, but I mean, to hear it from a god, that's...
I mean, if you think about it, the gods can't come down. They can't. Pardon me. They can't be here. That's why they go through us. I mean, that's why I fight for Biana, because, well, she can't be here doing it herself. And I'm trying to protect in her name. Haven't done the best job, but I'm trying. But I mean, if it was as easy as, you know, snapping your fingers and you know, righting a wrong, I think a god could have done that already, if it was possible. But maybe it's not.
So-
Maybe there's like maybe this whole crystal thing's a what's the word? A failsafe?
So, Arthune tasked you with what? Finding magic? Not this magic, actual magic?
In a sense, yeah.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, Sunshine, I'm actually kind of scared.
So you've already decided you're doing it. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. And that's the only reason why I would understand that Vivi comes running to me with, you know, the look that she had on her face.
There's a lot going on here. It's not just this task. There's that army. I don't know. There's something going on in the forest. There's what's happening with the Oswins, and it seems like maybe they're trying to find the magic themselves.
Well, good.
And-
Let them find it.
But
We're
there's a
unsure about motive still.
But we're not sure if the ones that are looking for the right reasons.
Be that as it may, doesn't matter. I mean, if you find it and give them back their magic, and if they find it and do the same thing, it's to the same means. It's the same end. So what does it matter?
if something bad were to happen because of things that are being left unchecked, and something happened to you and Vivi, there's a lot that I'm still punishing myself for. I would never be able to forgive myself. If there's something I could have done, maybe it's this, maybe it's not. But if there's something that I could have done, especially if it's, coming to righting a wrong. Well, there's a lot of wrongs that I need to make right. So I feel like I should help.
He just kind of stands there and stares at you for a second. You can see that make a perception check for me.
After that. That is a 13 flat.
He looks angry. His fists are clenched, and you can see his jaw tighten a little, and he just looks at you. And then he closes his eyes for a second. And you can see he kind of lets go of the anger. He says, well, do what you feel like you have to. You know where we will be. I'll do my best to take care of the family.
I could have just left and not said anything.
You could have.
Neither of you would be any the wiser. And how fair would that have been to you two?
We probably would have thought less of you. I know I would have. That doesn't make this any easier.
I'm just trying to be a better brother. Trying to be a better protector.
You do what you feel like you have to. That is one of the reasons I respect you as much as I do. And he reaches down and grabs Vivi's hand and holds it tight. And she just stands there kind of silent, kind of looking at the ground, not really looking at anything.
Neilon's staring either at Vivi's face or at Sunshine's face, not breaking eye contact, but letting some of this go, letting the tears fall.
Neither one of them are actually crying. Vivi, when she's looking down, you can see that it's like right there, but she's holding it back. Which, you know, obviously Sunshine noticed. That's why he grabbed her hand. Well, I can see why she came to me the way that she did. But, well, how long are you here for? And we'll make the best with it.
Until, let's say, early evening tomorrow night. We've got tonight, we're going to meet with the council in the morning, see if we can secure some kind of safe passage over to the Osman side, because it seems like a couple of those crystals are over there. Probably make our way north after that. I don't know how many there are supposed to be, but we know of, or possibly know, have theorized at least 5.
Well, where's the rest of your group? Are they getting food? Do we need to make food?
No. They're still in Opalhast. Gomo's family is there. I'm not sure if we mentioned, but his little sister Tulane is one of the healers for their for Aona's group down there. She was one of the ones who went to Warsaw and went missing for a little bit, but we found her. She's okay. She's back home, but they're spending time together. Actually, if we're being honest, he's having about an easier time with his siblings as I am.
I guess having a family can be tough, huh?
Yeah. Lord knows what would happen if I had kids.
Okay, well, what do you need from me? Anything I can help you guys with? And he's trying to like lighten the mood and talk to the 4 of you now the magic's there.
No, I just wanted to spend some time. See you guys for a little bit before heading out for a little while.
Yeah. Magic and I are gonna be out for the night, so you guys can spend time together. She's heading for the door ever so slowly during this whole thing.
Well, maybe we can break out the cards. Play some games. Just be happy.
Oh, speaking of being happy, there's this week's been actually the week leading up to this has actually been really nice. Just doing odd jobs, spending time with people. I got to spar with Ristel, and I won. That was fun.
I bet you enjoyed that. And you can see Vivi just kind of rolls her eyes a little bit and says, "I don't know how you guys can just act like this never happened." And then she just kind of goes off to her room and closes the door.
Ignoring Vivi, you would not believe the look on his face when he came back to tell us.
Actually, this whole week up until I've been smiling more. I've been happy. I haven't been angry or brooding. It's been
Good.
Nice. Yeah, good.
Talk.
Surreal to see, considering how stern he's been on the road lately.
This group hasn't made it easy. Where are those cards?
All right. So, you guys can spend the night playing cards. Rodon, are you going to join them?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. And you guys can snack and eat while you're playing cards, and the day is done. So everybody, I'm assuming Neelon and Rodon are staying there?
If they are fine with me there, I would stay there.
All right.
Oh, 100%.
And how about Nyota?
She looked like she was in tears as she left because watching that and just so she'd stay out for a bit, but if she came back and they were still playing, she'd watch them. She don't know how to play cards. She don't know what cards are. But she'd get no, I'm gonna get be my best to be sneaky, and I'm gonna get Magic a snack, be out for a bit, and then come back. So if people are still up when I come back, then she will observe these things called cards.
A sneaky snack?
It appears to be some type of bartering game where you trade leaves with weird markings on them.
Basically, they have no real innate value, but that seems to be the theme up here.
They seem to ascribe value to these things, yet trade them freely.
And then at the end, they give them back and put them in a box.
Yeah, none of that makes sense to
It
you.
was all for naught.
It holds no weight to their daily lives.
All right. So, long rest is had by everybody. Next day. How are we doing on time, guys? Are we done? Is that it?
Well, it is midnight. Who can continue? Or rather, who needs to stop?
I actually have,
volunteer?
weirdly enough, I have a morning shift tomorrow. I can go for a little bit longer, but
So, time to start wrapping up.
All
That's
right.
what it sounds like.
Well, I mean, it's a good place to stop unless anybody has
It
anything they
is
want to do
indeed.
either. Yeah, I mean, since we're all taking a
Mm.
long rest and the night
It's a
is
very heartwarming kind of soft fade to black.
I just,
Uh,
I have one question, and one question only.
Oh no.
Oh no, don't worry. When
I'm worried.
when Lily and Groger get back, holding hands and shit, is no one's gonna say anything? Almost not gonna say anything? We're just gonna. I just want to know.
No words need to be spoken. You know, just a little bro wink is enough.
Bro wink.
dude, that's probably the better you're gonna get, because if Neelon saw it, he'd be like, yeah.
Oh my god.
About
Just-
fucking
Neil-
time.
Just
Yeah.
the sea of eyebrow wiggle from.
Yeah.
I'm imagining if Neelan was there, it'd be more like the Shia LaBeouf. Just do it.
yeah.
The audience just fucking applause.
Just that
No.
freaking
I'm reminded
like,
of.
the freaking creepy solo standing ovation from Shia LaBeouf. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking.
Either that or this. Oh God, how does the quote go from The Simpsons? I'm gonna go outside and be with my wife, and I won't be back for 10 minutes.
Excuse you.
Well, I
Groger
mean,
has
you know,
stamina.
What?
Wow. 10 minutes?
Wow.
It's a
That is
type.
so
Anyways, on that
It's a
note,
pet name. Don't let it get to your head.
wow.
Newbies, man.
so
Movies.
They'll
Yeah.
get there.
thank you
don't
for
know.
joining us on our
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, I guess.
I do want to mention Groger has +4 Constitution and +4 Dexterity.
You
Yeah, but
damn
it's
right.
the first
he does.
time.
Oh my
Yes, but
god.
it's still first time.
Wait, what does that mean?
Oh, you're gonna find out.
And join us next time in 4i After Hours.
Anisi has
$5
50-foot
on our
move
Patreon.
speed.
Is Liliola's book the Kama Sutra? Like, what's going on here?
I mean, she has been growing penises all season.
Penis what you see
She's
is
never
right.
used for that type of information.
I haven't drawn a single dick.
Mm.
Hold on.
Anyway.
I
And she like
contest
You
that
messages
fool,
around.
Lily.
It's like it
the
was
most arcane magic of them all.
And now
Yeah,
we
I
are
was about to say,
completely off
you're
the
Lily.
rails. Completely off the rails.
I have
this
not
feels,
drawn
so
a
this
glad.
feels
dick.
like home.
So glad this is
Feels like home. Okay, so thanks for
I
joining
miss
us,
this.
everyone. We will see you guys.
Yo, hold up. You forgetting
Card of the
something, bro?
day.
It's been so long.
Card of the day. What has been
Yes.
lost? Let's talk about the Page of Swords
Hey.
reversed.
Yes. Let's talk
Page
about
of
it.
Swords, reverse. This card reversed means bluntness, cynicism, defensiveness, sullenness, and all talk.
Ouch.
Oof.
Whoa.
Neelon just got targeted with that card.
All talk, huh?
I don't know.
But that was normal. That's not
It's-
reversed, right?
That's reverse. No, that's
Okay.
reversed.
So reverse
Normal
meaning
is. Sorry?
No, I said reversed means that. So
Yes.
normal.
So
would be-
normal is talkativeness, energy, thoughtfulness, curiosity, and truthfulness. But yeah, so like with all the bluntness, cynicism, and all of that kind of stuff, I think it kind of fits what's going on. I mean, we had the whole thing with Groger, like with him feeling down and out and all that kind of stuff, and then with Neelon and his family, Gomo, I don't know, he just didn't seem like his chipper self lately. I just think he still might be having issues with his sister. I don't know. That's how I see.
Well, there's stuff. There's more to it. I'm sure we'll get to
Yeah.
talk about it later.
Yes, I'm not a mind reader, so
That's the
need a
opposite of our
jingle.
title. Come on.
talk about it later. Do do. Woo-hoo.
Hey, we talk about it later.
All right. Well, cool. Oh, inspiration? We haven't done that either.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
So-
boy.
Oh, jeez. It's
Give
been a while.
inspiration.
Boy, I know who's
I vote Golly.
I vote Galley too. Everybody vote Galley. 100%.
Hey,
Battle-
don't-
Where's the
Battle
Galley
out.
button?
She's
She
not.
needs
She's
her
not
own
part of.
button, guys.
She's
No,
not
it's the
part of this
bumblebee.
group.
Find a bumblebee. That's what it is. It's a cute little
Where's the
bumblebee.
bumblebee?
How
Yes,
She's
dare you?
not-
She's
she's-
just as much part of
guys.
this group.
She's
She
not
is.
part. She's not part of for initiative.
I am voting
Yet.
bumblebee.
God, how dare you?
She's
Galley
not part
gets-
of,
yeah.
Well, sorry. Excuse me. She's not part of Septum Extraneous yet. I should say.
Okay, there we go. Because she's part of
Okay.
for
I
initiative.
do feel like she's part of for initiative for sure. Godlywick is
100%.
definitely
You know what?
4i.
You
I
can
don't care
have-
what she
Galley
says.
Wick,
Look,
Galley
I
Wick.
commissioned her
Galleywick
too
is
many
getting a
times.
4
We're
eye
gonna
on her.
be part
Fine.
of this
You can have that point, but only on a
board.
technicality.
Galleywick
Yeah.
is part of 4i.
But
Oh, fish.
Sept X. We needed to.
Yeah.
We needed to be part of that at some point. That would be
Fish and
cool.
Yodi. Galleywick is basically because anytime she plays Among Us, it's silent slaughter, and then the game ends.
Wow.
Like you don't even know it's her.
But anyway,
Wow.
so DM inspiration. Way it works is you vote on someone that you thought had your favorite RP, and that person will get DM inspiration. Was there something I can't remember? I know we talked about changing that up a little bit, but I don't know if we ever decided on anything. Was that
I think that was a to be continued conversation.
okay? So yes, if whoever you thought had your best role play for the session, you can put their name in chat now or in Discord. I'll put it in general. Vote here, and then you can use an emote
Quick
of
thought.
your.
Do you want
of
to
your
make it
character.
so that you don't have to cast just one vote, just everybody like you want to vote for? Or is that too weird? I only say that because we talked about how if you already if the person who got the most votes already have inspiration, then you can go to the next person.
Yeah, well, you could just go to the runner-up and so
Yeah.
forth.
Well, but like if you're voting for if you're voted for someone and they already have inspiration, everyone might have a different idea on who their second favorite was, which isn't
That
reflected
kind
because
of
the first.
I
person-
like it, but then if their second favorite has inspiration and the third
Alright, let's
favorite,
get it.
at that point it defaults to the one person
Okay,
that
never
doesn't.
mind. I
So
said
it's kind of
anything. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I I had a whole
No.
semester
No,
study
it's-
of just voting math and
No,
no,
it's-
it's
it's
a
fine.
good idea. Don't
We
get me
can-
wrong.
We can talk about it later, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay.
FYI,
We'll
just
discuss it. No big deal.
Cliff Note version: voting is rigged.
Voting is rigged.
It is.
Mathematically speaking, voting is not
So-
fair.
So somehow, Liliola, who didn't really have any role play at all, except for floating around in
Excuse
space.
Oh wait, we're not done.
No.
It just
no, there,
tied.
there are tons of votes coming in still.
Yeah. Galley's winning.
We
It is my goal to do this every time to have like the
I lost a vote.
something.
Oh
Oh, but now Neelon and Groger are tied. The suspense. Oh.
Where are all these votes coming from, though?
I don't know, but
This is
someone
awesome.
unvoted me.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I only voted for Galley as a joke and Lily because the joke one doesn't,
I'm assuming
Count
B
as
is
the second.
B is Galley.
Yeah. The
Oh,
big-
yeah.
the
Yes.
B. The B is 100. I did, yeah.
okay.
Galley
So
vote, yeah.
yeah, it still looks like let's see, Groger would get it.
Oh!
Has Groger?
What?
Do you have DM inspiration already?
I do. I never use it.
Okay, then it moves on to
Wow.
Neelon.
He's
I
saving it for the
do
special
not.
day.
There you go. So Neelon,
Yeah,
you
there we
get
go.
DM
Hey!
inspiration.
That's it.
See, guys, it wasn't that complicated. We figured it out.
All right, hell yeah.
Woo!
Okay. Anything else, guys, that we forgot that we need to talk about now on stream?
Thank you everybody for coming.
Yes.
Outside of that,
Well, I
nope.
mean, it's great to be back, right? Guys
Yes.
who missed
It's
this.
great to be back. And I don't know, there's some things that might be changing, so we might have an announcement next session. We'll see.
Yep, we have some
Yeah.
planning
I
we're
believe-
doing about schedule-related stuff. We'll let people know when it's final.
I believe the next session will be Friday again, though, right?
Mm.
Yes.
Yes,
So
okay.
next week, Friday,
Same.
time, as usual. Basically 9 p.m. Central, TM.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
check your local
Silas.
listings.
Silas, we miss these sessions too. Trust us. Like, I
Therapy
miss
sessions.
these.
and man, like
Oh.
right off the bat, first session, and we already have Galliard. Isn't that amazing?
And dick jokes. This is going great.
Join the
That's
Discord.
like a seal of
Water.
approval in my mind. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
galley art is like if
pores
your
are
episode
clear.
gets galley art, you're good.
yeah, those
Also-
episodes are vetted and approved.
I has a question.
Yes.
Where are these dick drawings coming from? I just drawn no dicks.
Look,
Well,
you
sorry
might
about
think
that.
those were cupcakes, but
Those were not-
You always said you didn't do the best drawing, so maybe it wasn't supposed to be dick pics, but it ended up being dick pics.
Oh,
You
and
don't
they're
even know what a
thinking
dick
about
looks like.
Groger while drawing.
next cartoon phone, you're drawing
It's
a
like she's
cupcake.
trying to. Here's two stones and a stick for a campfire.
Oh, sweetheart.
Look, seriously,
Mila over there
draw
getting slowly.
Look, draw the
All
purple and brown swirly cupcake in Lily's art style and see if it doesn't look like a. Never mind.
Fine, I will.
All right.
Later.
Well, we'll draw about it later? Question mark.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
All right. So
On
we will
that
see you
note-
guys next Friday,
Draw about it later.
and we'll see you then.
Bye bye.
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 Bye bye.
Bye. Go and drink. Unless you're underage, and drink water.
What the hell?
God, I'm gonna get murdered.
He's being oh.